example, how to use your body weight to circle around, so like that, and then circle this way, you know. Yeah, so to get used to the relaxation of the joint, so you can start to give, for example, if you do something like this, something like that, yeah, and then kick me as you do that. If I push into you, make sure you're stable. Do it again. Yeah, and then. So for example, like this, if you hold your leg up, what you want to do is not hold strong. Push back into me. Push back. Yeah, not like this. Yeah, not like this. One more time. Hold it. Yeah, hold strong. Yeah, like that, and kick the other leg so you can go. Yeah, so it's actually defend and attack at the same time. Or if you're kicking, let's say this way, defend and attack at the same time. So you want this area to be stable, not like this. Push into me. Not like this. Yeah, but more like this. Same as the arms, yeah.
Oh, the foot, so like that.
Because it's the same thing. This is a ball joint, this is a ball joint, and you can start to, but of course, this is not very possible against a head kick. If someone's taller and it's a head kick, I can't get my knee on their thigh here. In that case, I just kick the supporting leg, make sure I block my hand and kick the supporting leg, or kick the groin, because it's on the street, it's just center line is okay, right? So we try not to check, but rather, for example, if I kick like this, yeah, usually you check, right? So that's great. As you check again, now can you give me some force to bounce me back rather than just block it? So, yeah, like that. And then now, instead of doing this, so I'll show you what I mean. As you kick, if you just do it lightly because it's tender, yeah. So instead of this, kick, push into me. Yeah, instead of this, having it, so one more time, kick. Yeah, like that. See how the force is bouncing back into you? No need to like that. It's like this. Same. Yeah, you bounce back the force. So
timing it very. Is it the timing?
No, it's because it's. For example, if your arm is here, anywhere along the path, whether it's here, my idea is to move in the same way. Not time, okay, when I hit, now I do the bouncing force. The idea is, even if you're having, hold your arm hit strong here, my idea is, even if I can't see where you are, the idea is to, whether it's here or, whether it's there, doesn't matter where it hits, whether it's there, it's, as soon as it contacts, it's meeting this. It's like, that's why Silun Tao again is very important, because you want to be in control of every millimeter of the movement. This is like something's developing like electricity, like a continuous current, rather than, okay, ready, now, okay, I start. No, from the beginning, it's already there, and then keeps going. So same in all of these movements, same as the kicks. That's why when I practice here, I'm not thinking about just kicking here. I'm thinking about from beginning, from where I start to where I end up, having that consistency. So if anything along the way, I want to be able to block at anything along the way, rather than just thinking about like that. Same as this, rather than just thinking about I want to hit there. No, everything along the way, because it's got this kind of power. Yeah, not this, suddenly like that. Anything along the way has that kind of power. This is the same, outwards the same. Not this. So, arms, legs, both the same. But then, of course, you have to then, if you want you have to test it out in a dynamic way. So we start in Chi Sao, then from Chi Sao we break, we re-engage, and then you have to, if you want the whole thing, my teacher encourages, and I encourage the students, put on gloves, put on MMA gloves, and just lightly. Because to pull off all of these things against you, a boxer that's moving really fast, can I pull off the same thing at exactly the right time? There's a whole different thing. Here we're discussing the potential of Wing Chun power. But to be able to do it, of course, timing, positioning, all of that still matters. You can't argue that, right? So just because I can do this doesn't mean if I'd never spar, you're a boxer, you're like, okay, show me this power against me actually trying to hit you. Then I have to practice that, or I have to do things to practice that so that I can pull it off in a dynamic situation. But here we're just discussing the potential of power power generation. Yeah.
If like we talk about this, right? If we fight like MMA guy, kickboxing guy, you using Wing Chun, if you're wearing the glove, still effective.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still can-
Yeah, still can go inside because the penetrative force can penetrate inside. Yeah.
So when you fight, you also direct go kick inside here, or
Yeah.
the technique, all those stuff also.
The technique is just you follow principles, not techniques. The principle is be in this state, cover the center line. Of course, the principles of range. That's for fighting. I need to know my range. But the Wing Chun principles of the engine, let's say, the engine I move is using my mass and everything focusing to the center, covering the center line, trying not to do stuff like this. You know, try to do maybe more stuff like that rather than stuff like that. But you could still put this engine into that. That's why I say I can help boxers. I do help boxers and golfers and stuff like that. You know, but yeah, in MMA, fighting stuff like that, that's why I do jiu-jitsu as well, because Wing Chun doesn't have any ground fighting. So we practice jiu-jitsu because not here in my teacher's in just very close, 1 minute. He's 6-degree black belt. He's the highest in Hong Kong. Yeah. He used to train with Carlson Gracie. Carlson Gracie is one of the top guys of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So he's from Brazil. Yeah. So we do that as well to make sure if you're on the ground, you can still, handle. So there's no way around that. You have to still do the sparring, do that if you want it to work for prize fighting. But when I was doing security work, I wasn't doing too much sparring. It was just on the street, try it on the street for my work, right? So I didn't do, the experience was more street. So then when I started sparring later on, my sparring wasn't very good because my way was just to get close enough and then try to knock them out, even if they're bigger. So it's using elements of surprise and things. So for the sparring of, okay, ready, all right, let's go. And you can't hit to the center. Then if you're wearing thick gloves, there's no center line, right? Because if my gloves are this big and your gloves are that big, I have to go around. Whereas on the street, even here, maybe I can still get in, So it becomes, so it changes a little bit, the sparring. So when I started sparring, my sparring wasn't very good. So we have to practice. But he used Wing Chun, Lawrence, against a kickboxer before COVID. So he went in a kickboxing match, but he used Wing Chun, and he won. He won in the third round. Yeah. So yeah, but we have a lot of the students we had just now. You saw the students here. They're not interested in sparring or going back with a black eye because they work in finance. They're 55. So they want to just feel safe. But they're more interested in, so they can defend themselves. At least they know something to defend themselves. But they're more interested in. It's so interesting for them to be able to tap into the body and use the body in this special way, produce force in this different way. Yeah.
I think we are same like him.
Yeah. Nice one. Cool, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
My pleasure, man. My pleasure.
It's like another world.
Good.
Now I know the truth.
Yeah. At least you felt something. So when people tell you, because you're a fighter, right? If people tell you Wing Chun's bullshit, at least you can say.
This is what I always heard, but I still believe they have their own secret inside.
Yeah, there must be something. Otherwise, it won't just.
Yeah.
People aren't stupid to just follow something. I mean, some people that they have no experience in fighting. So if the instructor tells them, and then I will do this, and they'll be like, wow, because they have no concept. Yeah. But there's many people in the Wing Chun world that are really good fighters. So we're not stupid. If it didn't work, we're not going to dedicate our life to something that doesn't work, right? Yeah, the Wing Chun is, but unfortunately, majority of the Wing Chun world doesn't know about this engine. So unless they're very big and strong and aggressive, they can't pull it off because the engine is just a muscular way. And in my opinion, boxing is much more. It's a better system if you're just using the muscular way like that. Boxing is smoother, more fluid compared to people doing this. But with this engine, I think Wing Chun is not bad at all. Yeah. Cool, man.